everybody, it is April and Oliver, and today we are going to do another 2.5-inch strip block. And this is a pretty standard block. It's been around for a long time and I always forget the name of it. It is a fence rail quilt block. Now let me show you one that I've put together. Isn't that pretty? Not only is it a strip rail fence, but if you look, you kind of have the pinwheel in the middle. So it kind of plays double duty. So I'm going to show you how to make this block. And this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Before we get started on the block, I just wanted to take a moment to thank you. This YouTube channel is my small business and you all are supporting me in my small business and I really appreciate it, and I didn't want to wait until the end of the video to tell you thank you because some of you don't stay until the end of the video, which is fine. And I also wanted to tell you about Skillshare. So with my small business, I have lots of things to do. And Skillshare can help me with packing efficiently for, say, going to QuiltCon, all the way to keeping up my creativity because I need to come up with ideas on a regular basis on how to keep you all engaged. Skillshare has been such a great asset to my small business. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here is the Skillshare site, and here is where you can search for anything of interest. So I was thinking about packing for my QuiltCon trip, and I was wondering if maybe there was a class telling me how to pack efficiently. And you know what? There was. So I can take this class and learn to pack efficiently. And then I was just out here kind of cruising around. I also want to keep you all coming back to my channel. And in order to do that, I need to keep my creative brain going. And evidently, creativity is something that you can learn. So I looked for creative and then I looked for classes, and here I found the Creative Toolkit, 6 techniques to spark original ideas. And while taking this class, I learned that creativity is something that can be nurtured, and this gentleman giving the class, Esteban Gast, has a worksheet that I can fill out and keep the ideas flowing. This class has been really interesting, and Esteban is a funny guy. He is a comedian, so I always like a little bit of humor when I am learning, and I have gotten that in this class. As a benefit for watching my channel, the first 500 people who click on the link in the description get a free month of Skillshare. No matter what you do, whether you have a small business or you are a crafter or a quilter, there is always something that you're looking for information about, and Skillshare has a class for you. So check it out. All right, on to our strip blocks. I have my little setup on my 5-foot table, and that way I can cut and press all in one spot. Now this little buddy here is my Steady Betty. The Steady Betty I discovered when I was doing half square triangles. And when you are working with fabric that you've cut by width of fabric, it can be stretchy. It's not cut on the bias, it's cut by width of fabric, but it causes stretchy fabric. And when you press with an iron, you can cause your fabric to go askew because these pieces are stretchy. when you use the Steady Betty, because of the fabric, it's not really, because of the material that this is made of, it does not stretch. It keeps everything in place. It's like glue, actually. I also have my ruler and my Caterpillar mat that will adjust size. So this actually folds out to be twice this size. But I put it on my little table on top of my wool mat, and I can cut over here, press. It just works out really well. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to sew a strip set, and a set of 3. And on this particular strip set, I have a stripe. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. I have a polka dot, and I have a solid. Now I'm not going to put the solid on the end like I did on the other block. I'm going to put this solid in the middle and just see what happens. So I'm going to take these to the sewing machine, sew these 3 strips together, and then we'll come back, press them, and cut them out. I had to do some quilty math to figure out what length to cut my strips in order to get a block. And I'm pretty proud of myself because my first number was correct. So first I'm going to cut off the selvage, and I'm going to line up a line on my ruler with the seam of my strip set. And there goes my selvage. Now I am going to cut 4 blocks at 6.5 inches. Again, I'm going to line up my 6.5 inch mark and a line on my seam of my strip set. All right, now let's see, how much do I have left over? I have about 16 inches left over. So each strip is 6.5 inches. Or each strip set. And I can put them however I want. I can set them up like this. I can put 2 this way and 2 this way. I can do whatever I want. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite, like this. Now I don't get my pinwheel in the middle, but I think I get a pretty block. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over and fold this over. We only have these 2 seams to match together. So that's what I do first, is I match my seams in the center, and then you can clip it or pin it or wing it, totally up to you. Okay, let's press it open. Because after this, we only have one more step, and we have our rail fence block complete. So I'm going to press this on my Steady Betty. I'm actually going to press from the back so that I make sure that I press my seams the way that they are supposed to go. So like here, this seam goes this way. I'm going to press the center open, the center seam, which takes a little extra time, but I think we're going to appreciate it when we go to put this quilt together. I have the hardest time opening up seams. And also, of course, I'm afraid I'm gonna press my finger. All right, let's get this guy. This block isn't as big as the courthouse steps block, so I want to put a frame around it so that it is the same. It's actually going to be a little bigger than the courthouse steps, but that's okay. We'll trim it down when we go to put all of our sample strip blocks together. Fortunately, in my Kona jelly roll, the jelly roll comes with 2 of every color. So if it didn't, I wouldn't have enough of this fabric left to go all the way around my block. And actually, I don't, even with this extra strip, because to make this block, I sewed these 3 strips together. So I used one of my purple strips. So here I have the other purple strip, but I need 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 16 and a half, and 16 and a half. And that's more than 1 strip. So fortunately, I have 2 of those jelly rolls, and that will enable me to get a frame all the way around. My quilt blocks are done. So you can see that this rail fence and this rail fence are a little bit bigger than my courthouse steps. And that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that right now. When I go to put all of my strip blocks together, that's when I'll worry about making sure everything evens out and I can put them in the sampler quilt. I like the way that they turned out. I will tell you this, do not put a solid strip in between your 2 print strips on a rail fence. The pattern that comes out, not good, not good. Another block that I really like is a log cabin block, which of course we talked about. The courthouse steps is a variation of that. And what I like even more than a regular log cabin is a wonky log cabin. So coming up in our strip series, we will be doing a log cabin and or a wonky log cabin. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss that. And when you push that subscribe button, YouTube pushes my videos out into YouTube world, and it helps my channel get more traction. We are having a quilt retreat. It is in Hamilton, Missouri, And when I say we, I mean Di of Sister Chicks Quilting, myself from April's Craft Room, and Tracy from the Sewing Channel. We are going to have so much fun. If you are interested in getting more information, what you want to do is go to the description, find the link, and click it. It will give you all the information that you need. We are going to have prizes. There's a platinum Juki that we're going to give away. It is the grand prize. We are going to meet fellow quilters, probably catch up with some quilters that we already know, eat well, go shopping in the Missouri Star Quilt Company stores, and so much more. So, like I said, check out that link in the description below. I'm also going on the trip of a lifetime. I'm looking forward to it. It is this coming September. I'm going to Ireland, and you can come with me. I know that you would love to see the beautiful countryside in Ireland and watch crystal carving, go to the Titanic Museum, and just have a ball over in Ireland. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description below that will give you the information that you need for that trip. If for some reason you do not get the information you need either on the quilt retreat or the trip to Ireland or anything else, feel free to email me at aprilscraftroom@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. Time is valuable. It slips away fast. So the fact that you are spending some of yours watching my channel, it makes me feel good. Thank you, thank you. Have a great day. Eat some chocolate and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye. Gracie wants to say bye. Say bye. Yeah, I know.